guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with the romance recommendation video in collaboration with Samantha from Books with Samantha. I love Samantha so much. We've collabed a couple times before. We do have a book club together. I love her so much. She's doing her trope week again, so definitely go check out all the videos she's been posting this week and just her channel in general. She is amazing. We are collabing on some hockey romances. Now, I don't know if I've actually done a hockey romance recommendation video, and I feel like I don't read enough hockey romances because that is one of my favorite sports to read about. I love hockey romances. I love baseball romances, football romances, but I feel like hockey is like top tier romance. So I have a whole list to share with you guys, some old ones I've loved and some newer ones I've read this year. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to the books. The first one is a series, that's a Vancouver Wolves series by Odette Stone. I read this entire series this year and fell head over heels in love with all of the books. The first one, she is the daughter of the owner of the team, or like the person who's like basically in charge of the team, and so she is now working for the team and is in charge of the new rookie who's a lot of trouble, and so it's her romance though with the new rookie, so it is a forbidden romance. And then book 2 is my favorite. He is just a really good guy hockey player, and he meets our heroine who's actually homeless, and he ends up offering to help her out, and she really doesn't want to accept his help, but then she does get attacked and he is the only one she can call for help, so then they do have a romance, and it is just so beautiful and such a good sports romance. I love how much hockey's in these books, and this one was just really great. And then book 3, she is actually a sports agent and he is a player, and she wants to represent him and get him a spot on the team of the Vancouver Wolves, and they actually get married in the beginning because they get drunk one night and end up waking up married, and she is absolutely horrified because that would ruin her reputation as a sports agent for like sleeping her way to the top kind of thing. So they don't tell anybody, but she ends up representing him. So they have this kind of forbidden but also like secret relationship, so they don't like want to continue dating, though she doesn't want to, but like they're married to one another, and it's really good. And then book 4 is kind of a little different because it kind of has like the mafia aspect involved, and it's a marriage of convenience, so that one was a lot of fun too. This whole series is just has so many different tropes, and I love like it's something for everyone, and it's so good. So definitely highly recommend this series. Then I have Until It Fades by K.A. Tucker. I feel like everyone loves K.A. Tucker's other books that she's really well known for, like the Simple Wild books and the Tempt Me books. I forget the name of those, but this one actually, the hero is a hockey player and the heroine's a single mom, and she rescues him from a car accident, and he ends up like coming around to say thank you and pursuing her because he really likes her. And I've read this book like 2 or 3 years ago. It's been a very long time, but I remember absolutely loving it and wanting way more people to read it than who actually read it. So if you have not yet read this one from K.A. Tucker, I highly recommend picking it up. Then we have the WAG series by Kennedy and Serena Bowen. These ones are all hockey players, and I believe they know the Him and Us couple. I'm pretty sure they were like side characters in here. I'm not recommending the Him and Us series because I feel like a lot of people know that. I do feel like this series is one that not a lot of people really talk about. I mean, it has 20,000 rating on Goodreads, but it came out a while ago, and I just really love this series. I think there's only 2 books, but Good Boy's the first one. So this one, she is the maid of honor and he's the best man at a wedding, and he is really into her and wants to pursue her, and she is a little bit more reluctant, and the romance goes on from there. This one was a lot of fun, and book 2 I really liked as well. They all have dogs in them. That's why there's dogs on the cover. And this one, she is like a virtual assistant for him, and so she runs all his errands, and they're not supposed to meet one another, but then they do, and they fall for each other. So like I said, I feel like this is the underrated books from this author duo because people love the Him and Us duet and read their other books, but not this series. So if you're in the mood for a good sweet hockey romance, I would check out these because they're just fun, and I really like the world that they're in as well, so check these out. I also have The Year We Fell Down by Serena Bowen. I feel like Kennedy and Serena Bowen write a lot of hockey romances. I do have I skipped it, another series by Serena Bowen as well, and so this one is a new adult series, and the heroine is actually in a wheelchair because I believe she was a hockey player and got into an accident. Now she uses a wheelchair, and so she is in the handicap accessible dorm rooms, and she is living across the hall from the hero who broke his leg from hockey, and so he is recovering, and they have a romance together, and it's very sweet, but it's very hard on the heroine because she will never be able to play hockey again, and he is going to heal and recover and be able to play again. And so I remember this being really emotional, but I really loved their connection and their romance, and it's definitely an oldie but a goodie. So I would recommend picking this one up because it is a good new adult one that I feel like has a lot more depth to it than some new adult books do. So I really liked it. The next series is actually the Brooklyn Bruisers series by Serena Bowen, and I read this one when they were coming out traditionally published. Now there are a bajillion of them in this series, but I do highly recommend checking them out in order. They are mass markets as the first 3 books, and I do love book number 4 though. Like, book number 4 is the owner's book of the team, and that's what we were waiting for. But Rookie Move is the first one. I read this one so long ago, and I have to like re-jog my memory because I read this 6 years ago. I read this 6 years ago, but I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. So it is the first one. I think it is a second chance romance. They were dating in high school and they were like the golden couple. And then she broke his heart. And now she's working for the team because she's a publicist. And they are getting back together. I mean, it takes a while, obviously. And then book 2 is also really good as well. It is Hard Hitter. Is the hockey player with the massage therapist. He's in a lot of pain and he's been trying to hide it from his coaches and everybody. And then they finally realize he needs help, and the massage therapist for the team comes and helps him. I love a good workplace romance where I feel like the first 2 are definitely workplace, and book 4 is too, because that's the owner of the team with his assistant, and she falls on the ice and gets amnesia. I'll just put it up here since I'm talking about it. And he has to take care of her, so there's caretaking, and there has been pining for a while because they worked together for a while, and you know they've been pining for each other throughout all the books. It's so good. And then book 3 is Pipe Dreams, which I also gave 5 stars. I really love this one. He's a widower and a single father, but he has never forgotten an ex of his, and they dated for a year, and now she is back during playoffs. She's working with them for something, I don't remember what, but she has to travel with the team and work with the guy who broke her heart. So it's another second chance romance, which is one of my favorite tropes. So definitely check out the series. There's a lot more that I have not kept up with. It says that there are at least 7 more in the Brooklyn series, which means there's 10 in the Brooklyn Bruiser series, because she did the first 3 with Berkeley, which was the Brooklyn Bruiser series, and then continued on with just the Brooklyn series. So definitely check this series out. I feel like this is one that people are reading a lot of the later releases for, and don't go back and read the original 3 that were traditionally published. They were so good. And of course I love book 4 as well. I think I've only read 5 of them, but long series if that's what you want. Then I have Rachel Reed. I had to have her MM romances on here. The first one was Game Changer, and this was really sweet. The hero's very superstitious as a hockey player, and so he goes in to get some smoothies and really kind of flirts with the smoothie guy, and it's their romance because he does really well that game that night, and he's like, I need to go back to these smoothies. Like, this guy's my good luck charm. And so it's like ordinary person with like hotshot professional hockey player, and it's a really cute romance. But then book 2, they are both hockey players, and they are rivals. They've grown up rivals pretty much their entire lives, and then they start hooking up whenever in the same city together, but don't turn into anything more, and then it turns into something more, and it is so good. I've not yet read their second book together though. It ends on like a happy for now in this book, but definitely need to continue on with the series. But I think I have to wait until like book 5 or 6 to get their second book, and I don't have that patience, so I might skip the books, but I don't want to skip books in a series, so I don't know. I have to finish continuing the series because Rachel Reed writes such good hockey romances, especially book 2, Heated Rivalry. I just love a like clear-cut rivals romance because they have so much history together and just this mentality that they cannot like the person because they're rivals. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Definitely recommend checking this series out. Hopefully I can finish it. Then I have Always Only You by Chloe Liese. This one, she is part of like their marketing team, and she has RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis, so she does walk with a cane, and I believe she does have autism as well. And then the hero is just like the sunshine, and he is a hockey player, and he has been crushing on her for so long, and I love it when the hero falls first and that the hero pines, and this is definitely one of my favorites of the series. I think there's 5 or 6 books in the series now, the Bergman Brothers series, but this one, the heroine is the grump, the hero is the sunshine, and it is just adorable. Like, such a good also workplace romance. Like I said, I really like it when one of them works for the hockey team and the other one's a hockey player, so another favorite of mine. I also have Playing for Keeps by Kendall Ryan. This one is a brother's best friend romance. So I believe her brother is a hockey player as well. So she's like known the guy for a while, and then they end up hooking up and can't tell her brother. So if you do like a good brother's best friend romance, I believe it was pretty short. Like, the series does not have that long of books. I want to say it was less than 300 pages. Definitely a fun time. And the last one I have is Pucked by Helena Hunting. This one is one I have not read in a very long time. And again, I'm pretty sure it is a brother's teammate, and they really like don't I don't want to say they don't hit it off well, but they like really bicker and banter when they first meet. Helena Hunting has like the best banter in her books. He's actually her stepbrother who the teammate is of, and he is a playboy with a bad reputation, and then they end up having a one-night stand and it turns into something more. Let me see how long it's been since I've read this book. So this one I read 6 years ago as well. I feel like I was reading a ton of hockey romances 6 years ago. That is, I feel like when they were like at their peak, coming out with like the off-campus series, the Puck series. Everybody was writing hockey romances and I was eating them up. So these might be a little bit old, but they definitely still stand the test of time today. They are so much fun. I only ever read the first book in the Puck series though, and I own like 6 of them, so I definitely need to continue on with that series as well. But those are all of my hockey romance recommendations. Let me know if you have any that I have to read. Becca Mack has a book that I really want to read, and then there's also one called Mile High that is high on my TBR because those both sound amazing, but I have not read them yet, but I definitely want to. So let me know if you have any other recommendations. Of course, there's the Off-Campus series, the Briar U series, and the Him and Us duet. Like, I feel like those are just like well-loved books, so I didn't include them in this video, but check out all my other recommendations and definitely check out Samantha's video. I cannot wait to see what she comes up with, and that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.